How you guys doing? Welcome back to another video. Today we're looking at the Bscstation. So we're going to look at the Launchpad, we're going to look at the entire ecosystem, we're going to do a price prediction and the complete overview. So how to get started, if you should get started, and what I think the price is going to be in the near future. We're going to go over everything, so if that's what you're looking for, then please sit tight, relax. I'm very excited to get into this. So let's get started. Right, everybody, if you're still here, thank you so much. Really do appreciate it. Please make sure to like and subscribe. We're moving towards the 700 subscribers. Could really use the help. Thank you so much. And also, I'm not a financial advisor, so perform your own due diligence. This is purely for educational purposes. All right, let's get into this. So the Bscstation is a crypto ecosystem on the Binance Smart Chain. You can do a whole bunch of activities here. They have a Launchpad, which is a crowdfunding platform to invest in early crypto projects. You can participate in pools, farming. They have NFTs and trade marketplace. So there's a lot of stuff, including also price predictions and everything, right? So there's a lot of utility to the token. There's a lot of stuff you can do. So we're going to get started with the Launchpad, and from there we're going to work our way down and we're going to look at all of the utilities. Once we're done with the utilities, we'll move over to the white paper, the current team and the activity, and then the price prediction. So let's get into that. I hit my microphone just now, my bad. So starting with the Launchpad side of things, we have to get started with the tiered system, right? So how much do you actually have to pay to get started with this Launchpad? Now, if you're not interested, please use the timestamps below and move to the part that you are interested in. But there's Launchpad, quite important. So when we look at this tiered system, we see that there are three tiers: bronze, silver, and gold. The first one requires 15,000 worth of staking and will give you a pool weight of 15. So I assume, and I think I'm assuming this completely correct, that you will get a guaranteed allocation regardless. They don't mention anything like a lottery tier. For each round, these are the fixed allocation for each tier. BSC, Genesis, NFT holders can have a higher chance to access the priority queue. Okay. Allocation calculation is here. Yep. BSC will get more benefits than IDO. Yep. We will snapshot randomly user staking balance when it comes to staking eligibility deadline. Okay. Yeah, all right. So I assume you will get that guaranteed allocation with every tier, and the only difference will be your pool weight, so how much you will be able to invest in the projects. So starting with 15K as the current price is at the 1 cent, we are going to be doing the calculation real quick. We'll 0.15, and we'll do that times 15,000 to calculate how much it will be in US dollars for the first tier. This will be $225 to get yourself that first tier, which is respectively quite expensive relatively, right? We're talking about $225, but then again, right, we get that full guaranteed allocation, so you will get to participate regardless. But I do have a bit of a problem with this, and the reason for that I'll get to when I cover the actual launches, but I'm not really happy with how the launches look. So I really hoped for a cheap entry, but we're not getting a cheap entry. We're getting a very expensive entry. Just for comparison, we'll quickly do one more calculation. We'll go to the gold tier, which requires 50,000 worth of staking. So we're going to just quickly type in the same calculation here, but then with 50,000, there's 5,000, 50,000, and that would be $750 US. So $750 US for the most expensive one. Quite expensive in my opinion. And again, if we look at the actual Launchpad, and this is why I have a problem with the price, because normally, it's an okay price, but we're in the bear market, A, and B, the launches on this Launchpad aren't particularly worth this money, in my opinion. So looking at the actual Launchpad, we see here an UI design that I kind of like. It's upcoming, so instead of a list, we can see an agenda with everything that's coming up. So here we have a strategic round on Friday. That is September. And then here we have Meta Dodge, private community round, guaranteed community round, and the private extended. Then there's Spume, and there's Gop Goons. So there's a bunch of launches already planned for September. I know this says August, but look, we're about to head over to September. Oh, look at that. So this was August, actually. My bad. So all of this was in August. So there's only one planned, which is this one, Goons of Balatru. As we can see, there's currently nothing active at the moment. And here we have their ended launches. Now, I want to talk about this first, because when we look at a launchpad, apart from the tiers, what is most important to me is how did the prior projects perform. And I love that they're transparent about it, but their transparency shows how badly all of these projects have performed, right? An ROI of 0.07%. Just to give you a better idea, this token still did a minus 99.9%. That is all of your money gone, right? Let's not walk around the bush and say it different than it is. Right? They got 25% at TGE, that got sold for a 2.7x, and all of the rest of their tokens were all sold for nothing, zero, right? So a horrible project where people lost so much money. And all of these other projects, right? MCity, Wingstep, iStep, BikeEarn, iStep, Pyramid Walk, Terroverse, Score Farm, MetaChess, all of these projects with losses. Now, they did have one good project, which was Drives, which, you know, it was just a good project. Their all-time high was at 8x, and their average ROI right now is at 1.5x. So it's a good project. And it was also featured on like Engine Starter and Game Starter and Gagarin. So other respectable launchpads covered this project. So this was a good launch. But looking at all of their others, like let's say a look at, for instance, Wingstep. They had an all-time high at around 4x, but after that they went down to 0.21x. Now, to be fair, they get a 40% at TGE, so good returns, like a 4x on 40% of the tokens, which is also why the price probably dumped. And then they did have a month cliff and then 6-month linear vesting, so 60% of the tokens were sold at a loss, and 40% here. So this is not even that bad. I don't think they made profits necessarily, but they didn't really lose money because of the high TGE amount, but certainly not the best project, right? But not as bad as MetaDodge. Now, looking at another one here, we see iStep IDO. This one had a 35% at TGE, 35x at TGE, and a 25% unlock. So again, we have these big unlocks at TGE. So 25% of their tokens did a 35x. So that is a huge, huge profit if you immediately sold your TGE release tokens. Problem is, after that, like many of the Bscstation launches, it just drops down, and this went for 0.007x. And yeah, that still leaves like 75% of your tokens to be sold at a horrific loss. And it really just doesn't, like this massive good 25% at all-time high. Yes, it will cover your losses, but you will not have made any profits because all the other tokens will have just been sold at such a loss. So they're not all that bad, right? Looking at the ROI, they're really bad, but you have to keep in mind that Bscstation launches have very high all-time highs and good TGE unlocks. So that's important to keep in mind. But if we look at really the ROI projects that have done well, it is everything in red and one in green. So not the best track record. Looking at the vesting schedules is not the worst either, right? Because of the high TGE, but it's certainly not the best. And if we look at how expensive the tiers were respectively, right? Several hundreds of US dollars to be able to participate in these launches. Well, me personally, I wouldn't really pay that kind of money to participate in these kinds of launches. Now, again, it is a bear market, right? So if you get your allocation now and the bull run hits, you will be able to participate in better projects, but the price of the tier will go up. So you could get it because it might be an interesting point to enter, which we will look at in the price prediction. But for right now, for the current projects, I wouldn't do it for that. It's not the best results I've ever seen. Now, they also do have an INO Launchpad, but as you can see, no upcoming projects, no live projects either. They do have here their own tier system, right? 30, 50, 90. Yeah, it looks a bit different than the tiered system that they had over on their medium. So, you know, which one is the tiered system that we are going to apply to? It's not really, doesn't really make that much sense. I would usually kind of stick to the tiered system on the websites. Usually those are most up to date. So, you know, stick to these ones instead. Either are fine, really. Just check the current date, right? Do your own due diligence, right? But they're not that far apart. So whether it's this one or the other one, prices don't really change as much. But good thing to keep in mind. Over here, the previous projects, these are their INOs, so the initial NFT offerings. They sold a bunch of NFTs over here, the BC chain. I don't think this is cross-chain, so everything will be on the Binance Smart Chain. So I'm not that big on NFTs, so I don't really use these INOs, but it's good to see that they have it. You can get them for 0.2 on this one, Cripcade City. So yeah, I mean, I suppose this is nice if you're big on NFTs. It's good to see that it's part of the ecosystem and that the opportunity is there, but they're not really actively launching. So yeah, that's all I can really say for you guys about the INO. The tiers are right here. Do have a nice little button here to buy, so it's really nice. But yeah, that's just another part of the ecosystem, so it's good to know. And then of course they do have an NFT mega market as well. So here you can buy NFTs and everything. So you can see here, for instance, this is an NFT for 1,500 Bscstation tokens. So you can actually just go ahead and buy them right here. They also do have chests, so you can open them up and get basically a random one. So really cool marketplace, all with the native tokens. So that's really cool. They also have a Genesis market where you can buy all kinds of other NFTs. They all look kind of the same. So yeah, quite expensive also. But here you have the Genesis. You also have some stats over here, the BSC that's burned and the volume, etc. Very high volume, by the way. So people are very actively using the utility of this token, transferring it around, buying new tokens, selling tokens, etc. You can stake NFTs here. So yeah, of course, we don't have an NFT, but once you connect it to your wallet and you have an NFT, you can stake it here and you can start reaping rewards. Now, the Bscstation tokens, very valuable because there's a lot of utility. So if you have an NFT, you can stake it, you can use tokens, or you can sell it for profits. So it's cool that they have that. And that's about it. Of course, we don't have a Genesis NFT to stake. And then you have the My NFT artworks. Now, again, I don't have an NFT, but here you will see everything that you want to see, right? Your digital art, your game items, and your collectibles, and your wallet address, etc. They also do have a trade exchange where you can swap or swap to liquidity, add liquidity, BNB, of course, because there's not cross-chain over here, right? So you'll be able to look at that. They even have the baby token from BSCSwap. So a bunch of tokens are over here. BSCSwap, I actually have a review on that as well if you want to look at that. But yeah, so here you can do your swapping. And of course, over here you can add liquidity. Yeah, you can see here the overview of your liquidity. Here you can add the liquidity. They say here, add liquidity to receive LP tokens. So, it's kind of like staking for the most part. So that's what you can do over there. So we've had trading, we've had the NFT markets, and they have the INO Launchpad, the IDO Launchpad. Then there's farming, which is not really token utility. It's much like staking, only you are not buying tokens and staking them, but you are basically farming tokens. We don't have any live pools, so we're not able to participate right now. So I don't know why they don't have any going on. They do have some finished pools, but I mean, that's irrelevant, right? It doesn't matter. You cannot farm right now, which is a bit of a shame. Keep it in mind, but take a look right now. Maybe it is already possible to farm when you are watching this video, but right now there's no possibility to do that. Apart from farming, there is also pools, so you can actually start pools. There will be IDO pools and launch pools. And then they have a tab which is called prediction. So you have to understand a couple of these things. So they give you price predictions of certain tokens, which is pretty interesting. Select your positions, right? So you can do your trading over here and you will get price predictions with it. So this is on BNB. So it's actually kind of interesting. Now again, right, they make you understand with the little check marks that this is all speculation and that it's not financial advice. So yeah, you're not sure, but I suppose there are some big brains behind this that will do these predictions, or at least I hope so. But here you can do your trading, and it's really cool that everything is built in on this one ecosystem. So it does look really good. It really isn't looking that bad, right? Thus far, we're just seeing that kind of like the farm pools are empty and the launches aren't launching. I know is empty. So it all feels a bit empty, but the potential is there, which of course is very important. Right, so we looked at everything on the actual website itself. Now let's move over to the white paper, and then we're going to move over to my price prediction, right? So let's get started with the white paper. It is not a very big one. which, I mean, I like. We can get through this quite quickly, which is important. But it is important to understand everything they say in here to really understand and really make a good price prediction. A white paper is simply required. So here we have a quick introduction. Bscstation, the fully decentralized protocol for launching new ideas. An all-in-one incubation hub with a full-stack DeFi platform across all main blockchain networks. We provide exclusive services including INO Launchpad, yield farming, NFT Auction marketplace, and BSCSwap. Bscstation operates on top of all main blockchain networks and is designed to offer maximum value to consumers and institutions. Okay, now here they have a bit of getting started. A couple of tutorials will be linked over here, some guides. All right, and of course they have a Telegram channel which you should join if you are interested in getting into Bscstation. Now over here we have create a wallet, again more tutorials, smartphone, mobile, or desktop wallet. Okay, yeah, there's a bit of market research here and a lot of tutorials, so definitely a target audience of like lesser experienced investors. Get BEP20 tokens. The native token of the Binance Smart Chain BSC are BEP20. To do most things on BSC, you will need to pay gas, which comes in the form of BP20. BEP or BEP, I don't know. You will need the BB20 version of any token you want to trade, stake, etc. on BSC. You can go a few days about converting your tokens to BIP, but here are the ones we are recommending. SafeBall, Binance Bridge, and Binance.com. Okay, so again, more tutorials here as well. Connect your wallets, do it on your phone, blah, blah, blah. Screenshots on how to do it. So yeah, most of the white paper thus far has been tutorials and a bit of market research. Not the best. I mean, unless they've really done their market research and their target audience are beginner investors and smaller investors, newer investors, then yeah, maybe it's good. But I'm kind of missing the actual intel here. A lot of tutorials. How to access Bscstation, yada yada yada. Okay, now here we finally got some information. We got a roadmap. So they say here what we had: NFT Auction, Mint NFT, or this is their core, Sell Transfer, NFT Genesis, and the Launchpad, and then all of the extra utility, farm, start pools, NFT Marketplace, and a bunch more. And here's what they're working on: an INO update, support direct minting from partners contracts, a new homepage, which I think already happened. It's just not updated in the white paper because they did recently get a new homepage. Updated IDO and INO Launchpad, update staking, update farming, and update the NFT marketplace. Okay. And what's next? Cross-chain swap is coming up. Okay. So they are working on the cross-chain, which is very important. They have the cross-chain IDO, NFT auction, referral mechanism. They're working on more Launchpad updates. NFT Marketplace, MM Toolkit, NFT Voting, NFT Swap, NFT Gamification, Bscstation app, and so on. Okay, and then get help, so even more tutorials and links and contact us, etc. So a lot of tutorials. What I'm kind of missing here are the actual stats, right? So we're not seeing any vesting, tokenomics. We did have a roadmap, but yeah, we had one introduction and one roadmap, and that's just about all of the intel that we got from this white paper. The rest was all tutorials, links, etc. Now, that is completely fine if the market research really showed that you have a audience that requires that help. But overall in a white paper, we're really looking for that intel, and we didn't really get that. So we're now going to have to look for the team and the tokenomics somewhere else, and CoinMarketCap it will be. So let's quickly move over to the tokenomics, and then a look at the chart and continue with the price prediction for the Bscstation. Okay, so somehow I actually missed the tokenomics on the white paper. I don't know how that happened because I just clicked on the button to move forward, but here it is. We do have tokenomics on the white paper. So specifications are name BSC token, symbol BSCS. Total supply is 500 mil. Standard is the BP20. Precision 18, network, Binance Smart Chain. Here are all the addresses. Then looking at the tokenomics, I have to zoom in a bit. 20% will go to the seed sale, 25% will be on private, and there is not a public round. Very interesting. The very interesting decision. So a public round is usually done for marketing purposes, and we're not seeing that being deployed. Also, again, very big private round, only 2 rounds, so it's very interesting there. 11% will go to the ecosystem. Fair enough. 10% liquidity, that is good. 5% for advisors and partnerships, and 8.4% for marketing. 15% for team, that's very average. The lower amount for the team, the better, of course, because the more tokens can be put somewhere else. But you don't want it to be too low either. Team has to be motivated. So I feel like 15% is always a good bridge. Staking reward 12%. IDO will be at 1.6%. Now they also have the unlocks over here. So let's take a quick look at the seed sale. Unlock 10% before listing. Look at that, 10% before listing. 2-month cliff and then a linear till to 12. And then we have the IDO has 100% unlock. Quite common. Nothing too weird about that. Everything else, by the way, also completely overall normal, except for the team. Only having a 6-month lock, very short. And then a very quick vesting as well. So because they take 15%, kind of mandatory almost, I would say, to have just a longer lockup, longer vesting. We're not quite seeing that here, which is a bit uncommon. And for the rest, yeah, everything looks quite normal, apart from the team having a very short cliff there. Users for the fund raised, 40% will be going to product development. 30% liquidity and exchange, 20% ecosystem, and 10% for operations. So that is it for the tokenomics. Then we also did have a little bit about the BSC holder benefits. IDO guaranteed allocation. Those who own and stake BSC will automatically qualify for IDO guaranteed allocation. So what I thought was correct, they do have fully guaranteed allocations. So that is also part of the reason why the first tier is a bit more expensive. So there's that. So now looking at the token, right? We can see that it's currently going for 0.1. So 1 cent, quite respectable overall during a bear market. Market cap still quite low at 2.4 mil. So there's definitely still a lot of improvement and opportunity within that market cap. The coin market cap sentiment is quite mixed, although it tends a bit more towards the bullish side of things. Now, Bscstation has had a bunch of big highs, right? Over here at their TGE, they made it to $1. Very huge gains over there. And after that, they did have a couple of other peaks, one over there, one over here, and another one there. After that, not really anything anymore, kind of flatlined. But again, anything can happen really in that sense. Market cap is 0.57%. Fully diluted market cap is also up. Volume is very high, like I said earlier, at the 24 hours. Zooming in a little bit, on the 1 month chart, we can see that the liquidity is okay. It kind of stumbles up and down a little bit as we can expect. Nothing too strange in terms of the token. Again, the price is very low, but in a bear market, it is also much more difficult for stations and finance programs like this to really be performing well. I mean, look at this. This was mid 2021, here at the end of 2021. The market was different back then, right? Crypto platforms like this just did much better because of the market sentiment. Right now, the market is very much down, and you can see that in Bscstation as well. So it makes sense. It's not down for a particular reason or anything like that. It also makes sense with the projects. Right? The projects don't make profits because the market is bad. So overall, if we're looking at a price prediction, we really have to ask the question if is the finance platform going to do better when the market is doing better, or is it going to basically stay behind? Now, the infrastructure is there and the holders are there also. So I would think it's strange if we wouldn't have yet another surge when the market allows it. I don't think Bscstation is done for the count yet. Right, looking at its holders, we can see a couple of very big holders over here, right? Thousands of dollars of holders, right? So there's big holders in Bscstation that are holding so many tokens, and they're waiting for this bump. And I think this bump will come. Again, not financial advice. I'm not sure of it, but it doesn't make sense. They've had a pump twice in a row before when the market was bullish. So it only makes sense to assume that when the market returns to being bullish, that Bscstation will have another pump. And you can see it in these investors, right? They have so many tokens, and we know it's not for the Launchpad because they don't have good launches at the moment. They don't have that many launches at all. So it's not because they're using it to have the allocation. No, they're using it because they expect expect the token to go up again. And if we look at the pattern that it has had before, right, it already had many different spikes in the past. And because the infrastructure is good and the community sentiment is there, all we need is that little bit of hype, the market that does better again, a BNB boost. And Bscstation is totally ready for another bump, meaning that great profits could potentially be made. And again, with the market cap not being as high right now, lots of potential still untapped for this project. So looking over at the Twitter, we can see that they are huge, right? It's a big platform. Now, how active is this platform right now? So 28th of August, we had a tweet, which was yesterday. And today we also have different tweets. So they're promoting their IDO on their Launchpad over here. But they post literally almost like a couple times every hour. So very active over on their Twitter, good engagement. And of course, just a bleep ton of followers. They are cross-chain, so I was wrong at first. They just don't launch anything apart from Binance Smart Chain products, but they also do have Ethereum, Polygon, Phantom, and Tron. So that is good. And overall, their Twitter is looking very healthy, right? Let's take a quick look at the community sentiment. If you're investing in Project IDO, don't miss Guns of June. It's a promising game for Project yada. So yeah, nothing too shabby, right? People are kind of nice, they're retweeting, they're excited for the upcoming IDO. I also went quickly into their Telegram. Looks pretty active to me as well. So on social media, they have a good presence, which is of course incredibly important. And yeah, that's about it. Over on their website, they didn't have their Medium linked. It didn't work. It gives a 410 error. So that's unfortunate. They do have a Medium, however, you can check it out. It's there. They do post. They just don't have the correct link over there. So what are my final thoughts on the Bscstation as of right now? Again, I think it has huge potential. It is a finance system that just works. Everything looks good and there's a lot of utility. They've proven to do very well in the past, and there's not exactly one or two reasons why I would say that there's a reason for them not to do well in the future either. Of course, there's a couple of red flags. It's just we don't have a doxed team, and the white paper wasn't the best, and the Launchpad isn't doing fantastic, but bearish times explain a lot. And if you're bullish on the market, then you can be pretty bullish on Bscstation as well. They've shown to swing with the market. The market goes well, they do well as well. So that shows that they have the potential to grow. They just need the market situation to grow. And for my personal price prediction, again, I think the market will grow inevitably, and thus I think Bscstation will grow inevitably as well. Are we going to see a $1 peak again? No, I don't think so. I think we're not going to see these types of highs, but another peak much like this, like 30, 40, maybe 50 cents. Yeah, in the future, eventually, if you hold on long enough, I think the chances are there. But then again, it's not financial advice, so do your own due diligence. All of this is just speculation. All right, everybody, that was just about it for me regarding the Bscstation and the Bscstation Launchpad. So if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Ciao, ciao, and have a great day. Bye-bye.